So
You know what? I told you the other day, I said, Clint, maybe we ought to like go out and start our own fucking film festival. Ooh, yeah. Giving people that want something, that feel like that they have the talent to do it.
Yes. And it is
to come out.
Because I always go by when, it's like when you say you want to do that with the film, with the studio, I go back to like, because one person that said, when I thought, man, I was down in the dumps, life happened, there was one person, his name was Charles Mask Lewis from Tap Out.
Okay.
He is the one person that inspired me to like, and I watched his interviews and it was almost and I'll admit, I'm a dude. Hey, you know what? Tears happened. Charles Mask Lewis said, if people are laughing at your dreams aren't big enough.
Damn right. Right.
He was selling Tap Out shirts out of, for fuck's sake.
What, out of his car?
Out of the trunk of his car. He was selling shirts out of his punk ass Skyscrape. He was an inspiration to me. God rest his soul, man. But you know what? I hope I make Max proud. Because you know what? We're going to do it.
Damn right. And you know what? To really follow up on what you were saying, okay, before Tyler Perry built his studio, the first one. Now, how do I know that? Because I was fucking there. Okay? Here's a background you people may not know about me. And for those that do, you're going to hear this story again. So, one day, I was working this job over in Romeoville in Chicago. Okay, back in like 2000, might have been 2008.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, one day, it was a day just like this where it was fucking raining buckets, all that shit. So I decide, hey, you know what? I got Tyler Perry's address. I got headshots and resumes sitting in the back of my car. In the back seat.
Worst thing they can say, that's the way I always think about it.
Worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah, that's simple.
So I send it. Now, it's a week. It's I believe it was a Thursday. So I send it. Now, the following week, there was a trial for these guys that murdered my cousin at a party. Okay? So I'm down there with the family. I get this call. Don't recognize the area code. Get this call again. I'm in court. Don't recognize the number. I ignore it. I'm outside. Okay. Outside with the family. We're discussing stuff. I get the call again. I said, damn, I got to go outside and see who this is calling me. And this was the following Friday. So lo and behold, it's this girl named Simone that was the assistant casting director at Tyler Perry Studios. Calls me up, says, Will, we got your headshot and resume. Come on down for an interview and an audition for our show, The House of Pain. So, I play the messages for my family, my aunt, everybody. They're happy. So, I book my ticket. I go home that day, book my ticket. I left on Monday, stayed in Atlanta for a few days, rehearsed the script, went down there, killed the audition, never got a call, but that's the way it works sometimes. So, hey, what the hell? I got the opportunity to do it. But the biggest opportunity was going inside of this motion picture and television studio that was owned by somebody that looked like me, that was in power. So it was a trip that I go through these doors, and the thing that I will forever remember about this and what inspired me to do what I am about to do is that you go through these two big double doors. This is from the old studio, so you go through these big two double doors, and then you come to this little walkway where there was 2 more big double doors, but these were glass. So then there was a mural with a waterfall that said Tyler Perry Studios, where even dreams believe, which, by the way, that's where Miss Michelle London got the article to do on a TH. That was it. Okay. So after seeing that, I'm like, okay. I'm looking around and I'm like, I want this.
Yeah.
That's when I made the decision that it was going to happen. I just didn't know where it was going to happen.
We got the seeds planted, though.
Yeah.
You know?
And I thought, okay, well, what better place? Okay. Because it was never after personal things and all that shit. And I'm not going to even give that any more power than it's already gotten, which I don't really think about it. I decided that going back to Chicago was not a fucking option. Going back to Europe was not an option. Coming to Dubuque and putting this motion picture studio up, okay, was always an option because of the fact of the foundation that old Dubuque was built on, and what better middle finger to that fucking old culture and shit. What better way to show racism and anybody that believes in that bullshit the middle finger? Fuck you. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build a motion picture studio right here in Dubuque. And that was the dream. And that is still the dream. And that is what is going to fucking happen. Whether you motherfuckers out there like it or not, learn to love it, because it's going to be the best thing motherfucking going today.
Ric Flair. Woo! Yeah, I mean, like, you know, just that, and I've said it too, it's like, man, you know, people that laughed at me, people didn't believe in me. This man believes in me. So, you know what? That's all I need.
That's why at the gas station that day, I said, when you showed me that video,
yeah,
okay, from Kevin Smith,
yep,
you showed me that video with him. I made it a point. I said, you know what? These things do not happen for no reason at all.
Yeah, and like, you know, I think they say they didn't accept discarded for whatever reason. Well, if they would have seen that scene that I filmed, and I mind you this, I handed to Kevin. It's on my personal Facebook. If you want to see it, go ahead.
Yep.
I handed it to Kevin Smith, one of my filmmaking idols. If they didn't accept discarded, they probably would have had me arrested for the scene I shot because it was that violent.
Yep.
But in closing, in my personal opinion, there's going to be, oh, these two are just bitter. These two are whatever. Fuck off. Okay?
Bitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck off.
I'll tell you something about being bitter. See, like I said, I'm not in any way out here screaming sour grapes because it did not get accepted. Yeah. Hell, I won, 13 to 16 awards all around the fucking world for this shit. Yeah. I just wanted to get some fucking street credit here in Dubuque where I'm starting this thing.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do.
And, you know, there's going to be people like, oh, these guys are haters, blah, blah. Or there's people, there's never going to be in between. That's one thing I've always learned. You're going to have people who agree with us, or they're going to be people who are like, oh, these two are just idiots. Think what you want, don't care. Because you know what? My filmmaking career is going to start. I believe wholeheartedly, I believe that blind faith, this script, that script, every fucking idea I come up with is going to get filmed. And we're going to be bigger than the posers in Dubuque.
Yep, and that's what the fuck they are, posers. They ain't out there. You know what? Let me tell you something, Clint. Check this out, man. When I was filming Till We Meet Again,
right,
there was nobody out there with their cameras. There was nobody out doing what I was doing out there at that time.
Yep.
Nobody. Nobody in this fucking town. Whether they looked like me or didn't fucking look like me and shit like that, the bottom line was they were not doing it.
Yeah.
This man was the only one doing it Okay, and I hadn't even met him yet.
Yeah. And I just, remember that I was playing around with the other day that I sent you?
The Sopranos thing? Yeah, I loved it.
Just playing around. Because, you know why? Because it's a passion. And I was like, you know what? Will inspired me so much when we were having conversation and back and forth. And I'm like, you know what? I took my camera out, started doing my own little intro to the Sopranos, and for some reason I've been in a Sopranos mood lately. You know, like I have the complete collection, but it's like, you know what? For those that don't believe in us, fuck you.
We personally don't fucking care.
Those that do believe in us,
thank you.
I have my number one fan.
Attempting to stay red pill in a blue pill world? Then I got your hookup. Hey, this is Coach Will Martell, and I will be bringing to you on a weekly basis a show that covers men's issues and relationships, chopped up with red pill knowledge. Tune into The Menosphere. You won't be disappointed.
Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Okay, so we're back now, and you know, Clint, like I said, I didn't want to really, we set aside this particular time on our platform, and usually we don't really complain about anything because we feel like that the work should basically speak for itself.
Correct.
We started certain things and whatnot, and we wanted the work to speak for itself. And like I told you before the break, the reason I wanted my short film to be entered in the film festival in the first place was because I wanted to get some street credit for the company. You know, if you win at the Julian Dubuque here in town, people will know. Mm-hmm. People will watch. People will connect. The views will go up. Oh, yeah. All that stuff. All those things. And I felt like that it would be good for business.
We have a very popular platform now. Like, YouTube's like a major thing. Like, we have a platform here where we can get our word out, and yeah, we're coming.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't want people to get this, I don't want them to get it twisted. I don't want them, to think for a minute that, the both of us are up here screaming sour grapes and, oh, well, this, that, and the other and stuff. Look, when the powers that be creates opportunities for others to show what they can do, okay, then that's a great thing. That's the goal of Dragon Whip Entertainment. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to find that article, just type in Will Martell, go to the TH, it will come up. That was always the goal. The goal was to give people from different backgrounds, not only black people, not only white people, everybody, give them a chance. Okay, that if they ever wanted to act in film, do film, be in film, work behind the camera, whatever, I wanted to create those opportunities and give that to them. I didn't want it to be where it was just all about being in front of the camera. That's not it.
Yeah, because like me, I worked for a page. I'm not going to say what page.
Right, okay.
I was like, and I had a phone because they wanted me to be a reporter, and I was like, you know what? Like I told the dude, I was like, this just ain't working out. I'd rather be behind the camera because my opinion, I'm no good in front of it, And I think I've had a lot of people say, it's like, because I sent it to people and people have seen the podcast cafe or pop culture. I can't even talk.
It's
today.
All right.
I feel so much better though.
It's all good, man.
Yeah. People are like, Clint, you rocked it. I'm like, well, and these people, that I've showed it to. And people that have seen it, I posted, they're like, Clint, you did great. And I was like, man, I always feel I could do, I'm my own worst critic.
Right, everybody's their own worst critic. Everybody.
I mean, but, I did make a personal point to talked to somebody today.
All right.
And well, start it out, man.
All right. So, the Midwest Monster Fest, okay, which Clint's wearing a t-shirt.
Proudly.
Okay. We want to plug the Midwest Monster Fest. We think that you guys, that when this event starts, you guys will have a great time there. You guys will get to meet a lot of people.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you're a fan of horror movies, if you're a fan of conventions, if you're a fan of cosplay, if you're a fan of vendors, if you're a fan of just anything, I went to the one in 2019 and last year's.
Okay.
Dude, they had Clint Howard there.
Oh, man, the great Clint Howard, the ice cream man.
Yeah. And people are like, Clint Howard, why? I'm like, dude, have you seen any movie ever made? He's more likely in it because he's been in everything.
Yeah.
Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th Part 6 was in there. Return of the Living Dead, he was in that too. I met Lenana Quigley from Davenport, Iowa.
Okay.
She played Trash in Return of the Living Dead. And both the year in 2019, 2020 was impossible because of the pandemic.
Right.
2019, they had Terry McMinn, who played the chick with the red shorts in the original Texas Chainsaw. John Dugan, who is immortal in my opinion, because when I met him, he was tanked up. And Ed Neal, the hitchhiker. I mean, if you're a fan of anything, and my buddy Jeff O'Neill, he runs this. This was his baby.
Okay.
Jeff, we'd love to have you on the show.
Absolutely, brother.
Midwest Monster Fest is the event to go to. And you know what? If you go to Midwest Monster Fest and you're not impressed, what is wrong with you? Because this event is go to MidwestMonsterFest.com, get tickets. They have awesome deals, very affordable. Will, you're going
Damn right, I'm going this year.
Yeah. I don't know exactly who he's all got. I haven't spoke to him. I spoke to him today about advertising for him. This event, this is an awesome event to go to. I've heard every time, and I like when I leave Midwest Monster Fest, and I know the weekend's almost over. I'm sad because it's like, man, that was such a good time.
That was kind of cool. Yeah.
And Lisa Wilcox, who played Alice from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5, she was there last year. And she is really nice. And one of the pictures she autographed, I said, "Evil will see itself and it shall die." And there's a picture of her in the mirror. That's Part 4 where she kills Freddy.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's awesome. I had such a great time at Midwest Monster Fest, both of them. I am so pumped what he's got in store for 2022.
That's cool.
I am Gargoyle from Exorcist.
Oh, fuck that.
I was like, I'm not going near that.
No. Have you guys ever seen The Exorcist?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to once know someone that would not watch that movie.
Yeah.
They just would not watch it. Because it gave them nightmares and they felt like the evil spirits was coming into their house. And
my oldest brother told me a story. He's like, I guess some lady actually went into labor during that movie. I was like, what? Because he's like, Clint, you got to understand, exorcism was not a thing back then. And I'm like, okay, I guess you got a point. Because I'm coming from, I'm viewing it as, okay, all that was how old I am versus, how old
the movie is, right?
I didn't think about that, but I was like, that is actually a really good point. People were vomiting. I'm like,
oh, well, here was the craze. Okay, now, I was a little guy during that.
Yeah.
During that whole craze, because I think The Exorcist came out in 73. I want to say 73.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I want to say 73, in the fall or something like that. Well, anyhow, I remember.
I got to look up because that will
my
drive me
mom,
nuts.
My aunts, everybody who went to see that movie were literally running out of the movie theater.
1973, yep.
They were literally running out of the movie theater. People were vomiting. People were passing out. People were fainting. People were having heart attacks. I mean, if a movie makes that much of an impact, it's got to be fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean,
if you haven't seen The Exorcist, rent it, stream it, or buy it. Simple as that. I got the Blu-ray copy of it.
I actually own the film. Yeah. I own the film. I had it on a flash drive, and the legendary William Friedkin was a director for The Exorcist, and we all know who kind of starred in it, Linda Blair, the legendary Linda Blair. And the movie, even all of these years later, I mean, it's got to be over 50-something years old, that it still has the strong impact.
I mean, for God's sakes, if I can do a scene of somebody getting his member cut off, especially that scene where she takes the crucifix, I cringe over that. I'm like, oh, God.
I mean, and you know what?
That sends a shiver down my spine.
And you know what? They have basically cut that from the original. Like, I mean, they have cut that over and over again because now we live in a society where that's not
because
acceptable.
The copy I have,
the copy you got, it was before of the Me Too and all this other stuff that's happening. So,
but well, you know, in short, and wrapping up, MidwestMonsterFest.com. Go there, order tickets. The VIP package is great. I got it last year. You're gonna have a great time, Jeff. Thank you for this event. It was something that. You know, this event here is the event to go to.
That's right.
Well, if you live in the Midwest. Right. But, Jeff, hopefully we can get you on here. We can work out a schedule to get you here, interview you.
Yeah.
Because this is the event. MidwestMonsterFest.com. Go there. There's halfway to Halloween coming up. It should be on the site. If you know, it's halfway to Halloween. Just go to these events. I mean, it's just... as simple as that. You know, if you live, especially in the Midwest, it's the event to go to. Now, Will, there is another thing I want to say. Speaking of movies, I watched here's time for my review. Shudder, or if you can stream it.
Shudder.
Streaming is the major thing. There's a movie, it's called Hellbender.
Hellbender. Okay.
It is, like, I put it this way. It is Carrie meets The Witch meets Lords of Salem. All three. I didn't think that could ever be possible, but it was.
That's interesting.
It's basically about a young girl who learns about her heritage in witchcraft. There's a few parts of this movie where it's like really boring. Like, okay, they talk about this, they talk about the powers and this and that.
Okay.
The mom, one scene, she turns around, looks at this guy, says, "Are you married?" "No." "Do you have children?" "No." And she goes like this with her hands, lifts them up and evaporates them. I mean, it is, if you can stream it, it's, you know, because honestly, I'm in such a good mood. Like, I'm in a really good mood today after letting that all out. I really am.
Letting out,
Yep,
I feel good about it.
Yeah, and you know what?
I feel good about it.
The soundtrack, the movie was different. The soundtrack was good. I loved the movie. So you know what? I mean, there was a few boring parts. The ending was kind of like, okay, that's trippy, but... You know what? It's because, like, in the Lords of Salem, where Rob Zombie did all the, like, the priests and the...
Right.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I am going to... And are you ready for this? Are you ready for my points? Not only am I giving old school thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, way up, I am going to give this movie... Oh, you know what? I am in a really great mood, so I'm giving it a 10.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 10.
Okay.
Because I think Hellbender, it was so... And it was really good, direct-wise, story-wise. Even the actors, like they, you know, the mother and daughter have a band and this and that. Watch Hellbender. Hellbender, you need to see it if you're a horror fan. You're a fan of horror films. If you're a fan of films at all, watch Hellbender. It is that good. I enjoyed it. So if you can watch it, Will, I would suggest it.
All right, I'll definitely watch that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched any new things since, you know, I was watching, I guess, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I actually just uploaded our review on that earlier today.
Good.
So it should be uploaded to YouTube
I'll be watching
probably
that
like right now. I mean, should be. I don't know if you know. I left the computer on so it could upload while we came and did today's
Pop Culture
episode.
Cafe. Check it out. Podcast Life. Dude, we need to get we need to come up with like a metal old school hip hop song about Podcast Life. Podcast Life.
For us.
For us.
Yeah, oh yeah, like a Jay-Z's version,
Yeah,
right?
something like, I don't know.
Shit, maybe we can get, when Jay-Z gets time, from his busy business schedule,
Yeah.
we can get Jay-Z to belt us out a couple of bars or two, and whatnot.
Personally, I'd rather work with Dre, but Jay-Z, that's all good. We can definitely work with
but we're gonna, here's our thing.
Yeah.
We cover pop culture.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So I don't want you guys to get it twisted where, we think you think we're just talking about our favorite things, professional wrestling, MMA.
Yeah, we didn't even talk. We didn't cover none
film.
of them.
Yeah, and we did it on purpose not to cover any of that because we felt that today's episode should be based around a shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, people are thinking, oh, these guys are one-trick ponies. Fuck off. No, we're not. We
That's what I think of you motherfuckers.
Right there, you see? No, we cover
right
everything.
here.
Yeah, everything. Wrestling, MMA. Which, by the way, Jorge Masvidal tonight, I hope you knock the fuck out of Colby Covington. Flat out. I had to,
Kick his ass.
Kick his ass.
Kick all his ass. All up in his ass.
You knocked Ben Askren out, 4 seconds? I'm hoping Colby goes down tonight. But, MMA. I mean, we'll cover football, for God's sake. We'll cover music, movies, TV shows.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. We want it, okay, if people want to talk about niches and stuff like that, look, man, when you are when you're a fan of just things, many things, I feel like that this is the first channel, okay, that covers all of the things that we just named.
And everybody's going to have their own opinion about it.
Right, everybody's going to have their own opinion, and, people could comment, share, and subscribe, and, things like that. But how we feel about it, yeah, absolutely. Keep subscribing. Keep on bringing those subscriptions coming, man. It's only going to grow this channel. I kind of feel like, although we're not in a garage or anything like that.
That's true.
But I kind of feel like Wayne's World, man. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Part of time. One of my favorite, I love Wayne's World. Part 1 and part 2. It's one of those series that you can, feel like, oh, the sequel ain't as good as the first one.
Who cares?
Both those movies were amazing.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, that series was amazing.
Yep.
I mean, you can't. I mean, even the Expendables 2 was better, in my opinion, better than the first one.
Yeah, it was.
Expendables 3?
It was.
No. There was just too many.
Expendables 3, not so much.
No, there was just too many people.
They didn't see. You know what? They didn't utilize Mel Gibson as a bad guy.
Exactly.
Like I thought they should have.
Well, rumor is part 4, Hulk Hogan's going to be the main villain.
Oh, good Lord.
That's the main rumor. I don't know how true that is, but hopefully, it's...
Well, they said Stallone isn't even going to be in this one.
Oh, really?
Okay. He's going to make a cameo, kind of passing the torch to Christmas.
Okay.
He's going to make an appearance in the movie and pass the torch to Christmas because now it's, I believe the working title is supposed to be A Christmas Story.
Oh, joy.
So, yeah.
Expendables 2, the part where I literally was like, oh my God, I was eating, I remember this, and I spit out my food because all of a sudden, they're getting shot at. He's like, okay, I got one bullet. Bam, 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 bam. And then the missile, the tank, they're like, hold on, don't move. Okay, they could kill us. If they want us dead, we'd be dead right now. And here comes Chuck Norris.
Oh, you gotta love Chuck, man.
He says, Stallone, he's like, I heard a rumor that you got bitten by a king cobra. I was.
And he died.
After 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died. I lost it.
You gotta love Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
That's why Chuck Norris, till this very day, is a pop icon, man.
Oh, God.
I got a Chuck Norris shirt. I used to have a Chuck Norris shirt. It was a sleeveless, and I think on it was it was something in reference to Chuck Norris being the ultimate badass.
Yeah.
And I wore this shirt all the time because I'm like, man, you can't go wrong with Chuck Norris.
Oh, fuck no.
Shit.
No, I mean, the 80s action movies and the star. I mean, I grew up with that. I was a kid. I was, I think from the moment
missing in action stuff and
Delta Force. I mean,
oh yeah, Delta Force. Yeah.
I think when I was in diapers, I was watching that because, man, I'm serious. Like, I was watching so many 80s action movies, horror movies. I mean, I mean, of course, like I said, everything. I mean, one of these days I will review a comedy. I promise. Or a drama or something. I promise.
No, we did the thing that's being uploaded today on we did it we did it on comedians.
Oh.
When I was uploading that, I was listening to it actually, and I just could not stop laughing.
There's one comedian we forgot to cover. George Carlin. Yep. Oh my God. The 7 words you can't say on TV. If you're you're younger and you don't know much about George Carlin, look up the 7 words you can't say on TV.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, old George, man. We covered Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor, the Dice Man. We covered all of them, but we didn't cover George and
Lisa Lampanelli.
Yes.
I went to that show in Dubuque with an ex-girlfriend, and Lisa she was funny. Like, she was just hilarious.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my God. And she even said, like, she says, back when the Sopranos was on, every fat guy thought they were I'm like, that is true. Because remember when the Sopranos was on, everybody thought they were a mobster. Like, hey, mate, forget about it.
Forget about it.
I could never do an Italian accent, but
what was that in Donnie Brasco?
A wise guy never carries his money in a wallet. He always carries it on a clip. Al Pacino, God, you're awesome.
You and Johnny Depp were the perfect pairing, man, because I simply love Donnie Brasco, man. That was my shit.
I watched that a couple months ago, and it was just like, man, you forgot.
It doesn't get old.
No. And, like, you know the actual story about it, and you read it, like, Joe Pistone, he actually has a $500,000 contract on his head to this day.
They'll never find him.
No, and honestly, that's another guy I would like to interview, but that's in a perfect world because he would not come out of hiding for that.
Oh, no, he won't. He won't.
And it's like, a Sonny Black, and getting the hands cut, because especially you hear the story on the documentaries, and then you hear the story that you watch the movie. He's taking off all his stuff. Tell Donnie, if anybody was going to do it, I'm glad it was him. Hung up. Oh, man. It's like he walks out the door because in the mob, once you know that you're done, you're done. Yeah. Because you get plucked, and when they cut his hands off and sent it, and that when the police found him, he had no hands. That was representing of he introduced an informant to the Don and shook his hands.
Right.
And honestly, it's you feel bad for Al Pacino in that movie because, like, as he's walking out the door, you know what's going to happen to him.
Yeah, getting on that subject and discussing that, I actually always felt bad for his character in that movie because he wasn't even like a top guy. He was more like more like somebody that would go out and. Yeah, he was a foot soldier, somebody that would go out and get their fucking coffee and sandwiches.
He was a soldier for the capo and the commission. I mean, even a guy like Sammy the Bull, who was the last guy for John Gotti, who was the last boss of the Gambino crime family. I mean, there's just so, like, I love one episode where you just cover the mob, but we'll get to that down the road.
Right.
Because, for one, we'd be kind of afraid of our lives because, well, let's face it, it's the mob. And Sonny Black, and Sammy the Bull and them, they'll pluck us and then go to sleep the very next hour. I mean,
yeah. So
we'll be careful how we do that, but
no, but but in the cinematic world,
yes,
okay, in the cinematic world, that's what we're talking about. Nothing like legitimately for real, because you could get knowledge on that, but unless you were in that life,
yeah,
you don't really know.
Like Michael Francis, another guy, that even if we do like a phone interview, like he was the one guy in the mob that got out. His father, Sonny Francis, known as a cold-blooded killer, actually put a contract on his own son, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, that sort of life has to be really tough, and those guys have to make really tough decisions.
Well, I can't. How did the one guy, Fat Tony, or no? I can't. It was might have been Paul. I don't know. I can't remember. It was they obscured his face, but he's like, if your mother is on her deathbed and the family needs you, you leave your mother's. If your mother has an hour to live, you leave your mother's side and you do what the family needs to do. And I'm like, wow, that's some tight shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a movie. There was a movie that was coming out. I think it was coming out from Paramount. I don't really know the name of this movie, but it had everything to do with the making. I guess it was the making of The Godfather.
Oh, Francis Ford Coppola.
It was the making of The Godfather, and it was what went behind making The Godfather. And this movie is out, and I believe Paramount was the people behind getting it, and it looked really good.
Yeah, that's something I would actually watch because The Godfather. I mean, if you have 3 or 4 hours, if you have a weekend of say if you have a weekend of no kids in all this and that.
Yeah, and
watch The Godfather. I mean, you'll have to wake up at like 7 in the morning and watch it
watch all of them because those were some long movies.
But it's like somebody said to me, like The Many Saints of Newark. They're like, oh, it was so boring. How do you figure it's boring? Because like the people that are saying, oh, it's boring, are the people that don't appreciate the history of the mob. And it's like somebody like me, I'm gonna watch and go, fuck yeah, ice him. You know what I mean? Whack him, take him out. I mean, it's just, you watch movies like that and you're like, wow. Even like Christian Slater in Mobsters, when he played Lucky Luciano, it's like, whew. Movies like that, I mean, you have to be like, almost like, really appreciate the history of the mob to watch those movies. And it's,
and I watched a few of them myself, and I actually liked it. Like I was a big fan of Goodfellas. I was a big fan of The Godfather. I was a big fan of the movie called Hoodlum with Lawrence Fishburne. And actually, a friend of mine was in that movie, Big Eddie Bo Smith.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a buddy of mine that I used to work with over at McCormick Place when I worked there in Chicago. He was a Teamster. Yeah, he was a Teamster, and Eddie Bo was moonlighting as an actor. He was in Hoodlum. He was in Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon.
Really?
Yeah, he was Neil the Cop.
I have that movie. Really?
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy Eddie, man.
I'll have to watch that movie again.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
He was also in A Fugitive with Harrison Ford. There was that train wreck.
Yeah.
And he was the big guy that was handcuffed to Harrison Ford. And he got them both loose, and he said, hey, you know what? You go your way, I'm going to go my way. And stuff like that. And Harrison Ford looked at him and said, hey, be good. And he winked at him.
Wow.
Yeah, Eddie Bo at the time used to get a lot of work in the movie. So I'm looking forward to watching Hoodlum again.
The janitor from Scrubs was also in that movie, Cheap Pop.
Oh, right, yeah.
He was the one on that train pointing the gun at Harrison Ford. Then the one-armed man killed him. I started, and speaking of, okay, we're rolling.
All right. Okay, so for those people that are in power, that are screaming diversity, okay, which to me absolutely holds no water, okay, because of the fact that the very people, okay, and I'm not talking about everybody, because I've made, during these creative meetings and stuff like that, I have met some really cool-ass people that believe in the studio happening. Okay, they believe in it. And I can really, really say that to those people, thank you. But to those that are running around screaming diversity, and they'll put a black face here and a black face there and things like that. Like I said before, first and foremost, it was the Ku Klux Klan and white sheets. Now we got a bunch of fucking politicians and people smiling all the time and screaming, oh yeah, well, it's equal this and that and this, and it's not. So until decent people get together and say, hey, enough of this shit, the gatekeepers in this three-ring circus that I'm referring to will continue to be in power, will continue to do the shit the same way. How do I know this? Well, just look at over the past 5 or 10 years. What celebrities have actually been interested in coming to Dubuque that were not on part of the C team?
Yeah.
That were popular 20 or 30 years ago. It's time that we brought attention to the city of Dubuque, and by hook or by crook, you got the guys here that are going to do it.
Yep.
I hate to sound cliche, but I'm going to say it like this. And yeah, I'm going to tell all of you people out there that I got an extremely huge fucking ego. Okay? Let's make no mistake about it. I have probably the biggest ego that needs his own fucking zip code. Okay? But I'm letting you people know that one monkey ain't stopping no damn show. We're going to make this the biggest thing ever. And maybe people are like, well, you're really, really throwing down the gauntlet. You know what? That's what this shoot was meant to do. Throw down the gauntlet.
And get the shit off the chest.
Absolutely. And I needed to get this off my chest. Because, man, I had some shit bothering me for a long, long time.
And like we've discussed, it's like all that frustration is built up, got off my chest. I feel so much better now knowing that this is out there, and those people, whatever. It is what it is anymore, but you know what? We got our goals.
That's right.
Stay the fuck away from us.
That's right. And you know what? We are going to wrap this up by saying, to the ones that support us, thank you.
Much love.
Thank you very much. Because without you, there will be no us. Without your support, there will be no channel.
Yep.
Without your support, there will not be us trying to turn out episode after episode every week. And we just started this thing.
Yeah.
This thing has just started. It has only just begun, but we appreciate you. And for the haters out there, fuck y'all anyway.
Kiss my ass.
Bitches. We out.
MidwestMonsterFest.com.
Go see it.
Go to the convention.
And remember, every day above ground is a good day. Deuces!